What's up, guys? It's me, Henry, and today I got a video that is something different than what I usually do. And I guess I'll give it a little backstory before we get started here. My fiance and I just recently moved into our new house, and I started setting up my train room, like setting up the shelves and stuff like that. However, I can't set up my table or anything really quite yet because like we got our computers in that room right now and a bunch of storage stuff, because the room that we're going to eventually put that stuff in isn't quite finished yet. We got to get new flooring and trim, like flooring trim and all that fun stuff. We got to get that put in. So I can't really work on the kind of videos I usually do. However, I was looking on YouTube and I saw some people like Person Number 6, Sodor Productions, and somebody else. I forgot their name, but I'll put it in here if I remember. But they were making sets based on stories, and you know, it could either be like, you know, their dream set, or they try to be realistic to what Learning Curve did or what Learning Curve could have potentially did at the time had they made a story or had they made a set based on that story. And that got me inspired, and I was like, you know, I can't really do anything else right now, so why not hop on the bandwagon and make a set? And the result of that is in front of you right now, and I made a Pop Goes the Diesel set. And you know, I just want to apologize beforehand. This is the first video I've done in a very, very long time of just whipping out the camera and just going on and talking, you know, without a script or anything like that. So I am very rusty. I don't even think I was really that good in the past at doing it. So I just want to apologize if I just keep going on and there's a lot of ums and uhs and likes, you know. I apologize for that. But without further ado, let's get started. So first I'll go over the engines I decided to include in this set, and the two I included are Duck and Diesel. Now, I know a lot of people probably, if they were making the set themselves, would have included, you know, James and Gordon and Henry because they were in the story at the beginning, but I decided for the most part to go the realistic route in this set, apart from one glaring thing that you probably already see, but you know, I'll get to that in a sec. But you know, I was thinking, you know, Learning Curve wouldn't include 5 engines, like 3 of them being like tender engines in one set. You know, they would usually really only do that in the big sets like the Roundhouse set or like deluxe sets or 100-piece set, whatever. I can't think of them off the top of my head right now, but I decided that, you know, Duck and Diesel were plenty for this set because those are the 2 main characters in the story. And this set specifically revolves around the main part in the story when, you know, they're in the yards and Diesel's trying to pull the old trucks and the other trucks are laughing at him. So I thought Duck and Diesel were plenty for this set. And then I'll go to the rolling stock. I got 2 gray troublesome trucks for the old trucks, and then I got the giggling troublesome trucks and the troublesome brake van in the siding, or in the sidings, to watch on and laugh at Diesel while he's trying to pull the old trucks. And this is the part that you're probably thinking to yourselves that this is completely unrealistic, because one, you know, there would never be a time when the giggling troublesome trucks and the troublesome brake van and the gray troublesome trucks are in the same set. You know, the gray troublesome trucks and the troublesome brake van, and then the giggling troublesome trucks are items from 2 completely different eras of the line, and there's no way that would happen. And you know, that's true, that wouldn't happen. And then also, you know, you're probably thinking if you want to be realistic, they probably wouldn't have included 5 different trucks. They probably would have only included the 2 trucks that Diesel's pulling, and that's it. And you're probably right, but you know, I decided that personally, like, I decided to take a creative liberty and go ahead and include the, you know, first of all, the gray trucks as the old trucks, because, you know, they actually do look older than the other trucks. And then also, I thought that, you know, you need the trucks that Diesel's pulling, but, you know, you also need trucks that are sitting to the side that are laughing, because, you know, that's what happens in the show, or that's what happens in the story. And I think that was, you know, something that I think would be good to include. But yeah, you know, if this set had actually come out, that's probably the big thing that Learning Curve wouldn't have included. They probably would have just included the 2 trucks. And I get that, but this is my set and I wanted to do that. And then the last thing I included was the breakdown train, because of course, you know, if you're watching this video, you probably already know how Pop the Diesel goes. You know, Diesel can't pull the trucks and they like break and come off the rails and all that, and then he has to clean them up with the breakdown train. Next, I'll go over the set dressing. In the main yards area, I included 2 signals because, you know, in the yards, you know, there's a lot of points, a lot of traffic in the yards, so I decided to include 2 signals because I thought that was cool. And then, you know, this is a yard set, so I decided that trees and stuff like that, or bushes, weren't really a necessity. I decided to go with buildings for the most part. So, you know, I got the red roof house from the set of 3 buildings, the signal box from the set of 3 buildings, and then I would have used the black roof building from the set of 3 buildings in this, but I actually don't have it. So I decided to just go with the water mill instead, and obviously, like, you know, that wouldn't really make sense because there was no water mill in the story. But, you know, just try and use your imagination that it's the black roof building from the set of 3 buildings. And then that way, that's kind of like a realistic thing where, you know, a lot of sets did that, you know, where they included, you know, a set of buildings or scenery in the set, and that would actually be a realistic thing. So yeah, just use your imagination here, because if I had the black roof building, I would have just used that. Alright, I think the last thing to go over is, you know, the whole track setup. So I'll go ahead and start in this area, this middle area. You know, I wanted to, like, get the feel of a big yard, because that's where, you know, this story takes place. So, you know, I decided I wanted the center point of the set to be, you know, the giant yards. So I'll go here first where Diesel is. You know, there's a V-switch going into 2 tracks. And then, you know, I got like the big long 2-track like thing from the pedestrian bridge because I thought that was cool. It, you know, gave off the vibe of like the yards. And then it goes back into another V-switch back around here, and then it comes up to this, it goes elevated track, and then it comes across here, and then it goes back down, back to this switch. And I included this elevated track bridge thing because I'll come over here. I think, you know, the big thing about NAFR Yards in Season 2, like an iconic part or a thing that a lot of people like is, you know, like the bridge area that trains go over, and I kind of wanted to replicate that in this set. And then also it's a cool thing to have, you know, rather than just, you know, have just flat track. It gives some, you know, depth to the set, in my opinion, and I think it looks nice. And also, I forgot to mention here, this V switch here, it's kind of janky. It's an off-brand switch because I don't have any female, or yeah, I don't have any female brand, name brand V switches. So I kind of had to cheat a little bit because it didn't match like the shape or like the width of this track. So I kind of had to cheat here. If you can see, it kind of bends. But I mean, so really, if I had the name brand stuff, you probably could have, like, I could have lowered the pieces involved in this set. I counted them like yesterday or the day before. It was like 50 or so pieces, but it could, like, if I had the name brand stuff or if I had the stuff that I really needed, I probably could have gotten it down to like 40 or something. But anyway, I thought that was interesting to mention. But anyway, you go around here and then you go over to the angled sidings, and that's another thing I wanted to include in the set specifically, because that's a big part of the set, or that's a big part of the story. I can't remember, it's one of, if not the only set story that has, you know, that specific yard set where it has the angled sidings, and I thought that was a pretty iconic part of the story, so of course I wanted to include that. And then, you know, you got 3 of them, and there's 3 switches right here, and I mean, I like this one specific switch with the red thing where you can actually direct where the trains go. That's not there for any particular reason. I just ran out of regular switches, so I used that. So that's not really there for any specific reason. And then obviously the track comes back around here, back here to the bridge, and so forth. And, you know, I decided to just, you know, include a special engine shed here because for a couple reasons. Like, I didn't have any like male, or I couldn't really find any good like small curves other than the ones you see right here. And the reason I have those here instead of like the big curves like here is because I tried doing that at first, but the sidings didn't really line up with like the yards area where diesel is. And I thought that was really important, so I decided to just throw in some small curves there. But anyway, other than the ones you see here, I couldn't find any good ones. So I decided to throw in a switch and then a shed. And besides, this like corner kind of looked a little bare, in my opinion, and this kind of adds some added playability to this set anyway. And you could argue that like this is like Tidmouth, like quote unquote Tidmouth sheds, like at the beginning when Topham Hatt's like you know, Diesel, like he introduces Diesel to the engines and he's like, please teach him, Duck. Like that could happen here. And I guess I could have added a Sir Topham Hatt figure, but I actually don't have any actual wooden relic figures because I never had a need for them. I use Lego figures for my people in my videos, so I guess, you know, if I had that, I would have thrown that in here. And you know, I do like the idea of using special engine sheds as like quote unquote in stories that like Tidmouth sheds isn't a huge part of it. You know, I was watching Sodor Productions Flying Kipper set video, and he included a special engine shed to replicate Tidmouth sheds in that story. It's not a big part of the story, and Learning Curve wouldn't include the whole roundhouse in a set that based on a story where Tidmouth sheds is in there for like one scene, you know. But like this way, you know, it gives more playability to the set, and you can kind of replicate or you can kind of remake that part of the story if you wanted to. So I thought that was cool. Alright, so I think I just about covered everything in this set. But yeah, thanks for watching this, guys. This was actually a really fun thing for me to do. It was a bit, you know, it was a good change of pace from the videos I usually do, and those ones usually take a long time to make, you know, with all the set building and all the editing that goes into it and line recording and all that. So it was a good change of pace. And I do have an idea or two for some other story sets. Maybe in the future I'll do them if I turn this into a series. You know, maybe, you know, I can put out a bit more videos than what I usually do these days. I upload like 3 or 4 times a year. But yeah, if you'd like to see that, let me know. Let me know what you would have changed in this set. You know, let me know how you would go about doing a set like this, and maybe even suggest me some stories you would like to see me build sets of. I've never been a huge layout person or set, or like, you know, wooden railway set building person. So, and I'm really proud of how this turned out. You know, it was a lot of fun, and it's actually even better than what I thought of in my mind. So, yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And there's only one thing left to do, and that's put the set into action.
When Duck returned, Diesel was trying to take some cars from a siding. They were old and empty. They had not been touched for a long time. Diesel found them hard to move. Pull! Push! Backwards! Forwards! Oh-wee! Oh-wee! The cars groaned. We can't! We won't! Duck watched with interest. Diesel lost patience. Grrr, grrr, he roared. Gave a great heave. The cars jerked forward. Oh, oh, they screamed. We can't, we won't. Some of their brakes snapped, and the gear jammed in the sleepers. Arr, grrr, oh, ho, 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 chuckled Duck. Thank you for arranging these, Diesel. I must go now. Don't you want this lot? No, thank you. And I've taken all this trouble. Why didn't you tell me? You never asked me. Besides, said Duck, you were having such fun being Rev whatever it was you said. Goodbye. Arr, grrr, oh. Cars waiting in the yard, tackling them with Diesel. Show the world what I can do, gaily boasts the Diesel. In and out he creeps about like a big black weasel. When he pulls the wrong cars out, hop goes the Diesel. Arr, arr, growled Diesel and scuttled away to sulk in the shed.